Again, we are just to kind of go back into what we're talking about, the historical books, which is Joshua, Judges, 1st and 2nd Samuel, and 1st and 2nd Kings. And it's all about leaders. And now we're into the second book, which is the book of Judges. And the book of Judges is the most awful, horrible, terrible book in the Bible. You wonder, why did they even let this book slip in there? There's lots of violence. The people are always turning away from God. It's a complete disaster what happens to the people of God. They're supposed to be in this garden. They committed themselves to be faithful. All they have to do is worship God and say that you are my God. And they don't do that. They keep turning away from God. But the book has a really important purpose, and it exposes the need for us to have good leadership, because that's the reason why they're turning away. Remember, we had Moses that kept turning the people back to God. Then we had Joshua. Now there's nobody. Now remember, Joshua had divided up the land into 12 tribes. And so each of these tribes now are kind of independent. It's like the states in the United States. Each are governed on their own. They have their own set of laws, and they work things out on their own, even though they are kind of united as tribes. So the problem is that there's no one to really to keep them together as a unit. And so what happens is that they go into this land and they see other gods and they turn to the other gods. Now see, that seems to be ridiculous, because as I said before, the gods are gods that manifest certain powers. And they're unfriendly. They don't have personalities. They don't make oaths. They don't make promises. They don't make deals with humans. They're just capricious. They do whatever. They have mood swings, and they can be very violent and just destroy at their own whim. So they're not very good to follow. And here they have. And we thought that we got rid of all of these powers, and now we have God, which was a God of peace, and we have this. But they keep bringing them back. So the way it works is that the book of Judges, we're going to see 12 different judges representing each of the 12 tribes. And so the people turn away from God. Then God punishes them for turning away because they didn't keep up with their promise. And what they do is that after they're punished, they turn back to God and say, "Oh God, we don't like to be punished. Please help us. Please save us from our enemies." So then God sends a leader, which is a judge. And this judge is just to help them out to get through this problem. And so the judge helps them with the problem. Everything's resolved. And then as soon as everything is back to normal again, they turn their back on God and they sin again against God. And then the cycle returns. And then so that they're punished, they need another judge. God sends the judge, fixes the problem, and then so it's continuous. So the book of Judges, what it really does is exposes us to the problem that we really need. We really need a leader, and so the book of Judges it's awful. It's horrible to really expose the problem that we really need another promise. So that in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this new promise, the second big promise that God is going to give us, and we want to pay attention because this is going to be also another subject of our prayer. Remember, biblical prayer is always based on a promise. And it's the promise of being in the presence of God. But now we get a new promise, which is going to be a promise of good leadership. So let's take a look in the next video.